when do we switch an exercise out when something gets stale? Now, you can't keep doing the exact same exercise year round, otherwise there's a good chance you're going to run into some overuse injuries, something called adaptive decay. Basically means the more that we do something and the body adapts to that, the more it's going to get used to it and the less stimulation it's going to get from the exact same movements. Now obviously we can alter rep ranges, we don't just have to switch an exercise out. You could go from doing sets of 10 on an exercise to sets of 6 to sets of 3. That is enough variation in itself, which is going to override the law of accommodation. But when hypertrophy is the goal, maybe we haven't got as much room to avenues to go down with an exercise to stick in the hypertrophy rep ranges. So that's why having a toolbox or a selection of exercises for each muscle group is always handy. You don't always use your favourite exercises and your best exercises at once in any given training block. It's always good to have a couple in your back pocket for when these things start to happen. Now, as you know, the basis of every successful training program is progressive overload. We want to take the movements that we're doing and we want to drive our poundages up. We want to get a little bit stronger over time, and we pick a selection of movements and we progress those through a training block. Now, what happens when progress inevitably stalls? Now, it's going to happen at some point. So what do? There's a couple of check marks that we're looking for in terms of how do we know when to switch an exercise out. Now, that's what I'm going to get into now. So, when do we switch an exercise? So, let's take a hack squat, for example, right? We've been doing a hack squat for, we've done 3 6-week blocks of training. Now we've been doing a hack squat for like near on 18 weeks. We've been slowly progressing from week to week, and our progress is it's slowly been trending upwards over the course of 18 weeks. Okay, so we've had a good run and a good bash at that movement. We get to 18 weeks and then one session we come in and we struggle to progress. Okay, that can happen sometimes in one session. That could be to do with sleep, recovery, hydration, stress. There's multiple different factors that go into that. So one bad session doesn't mean that you chalk on movements. But then if you come in the next time in the second session again and then you can't progress, that's when maybe the alarm bells start to ring and maybe we need to back off. But then if you come in and you get 3 consecutive poor sessions in a row with that same movement where no progression happens, that's a sign that you need to chalk that movement, and we probably need to bring in a fresh rotation or a new exercise to take out that slot. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're looking for. Number 2 is aggravating your joints. Now, this is something that people don't understand, and it creeps up on them, and this will happen too late before they should have made the change months or weeks ago, but it's too late. Tendonitis grows. So let's say for a hack squat, if your knees really start bugging you and giving you problems consistently after you're doing the hack squat, you feel it while you're doing it, even when you warm up, and again you just feel like it's just grinding your knees. The couple of hours after you've trained and the day or the next day after, you've got soreness in your knees, and you know the difference between good quad soreness and then joint pain. If you've consistently got joint pain from doing a movement, again, it's probably a telltale sign that we need to switch it out. Now, why does that happen? If you keep repetitively stressing the joints, the connective tissues, in the exact same fashion over time, that's where overuse injuries come in. That's just the way the body is built. I wish we could get away around it, but we can't. Overuse injuries and doing the exact same pattern all the time will always come up with some sort of overuse injury, so that's where the smart variation comes in. Okay, so keep an eye out for any sort of joint pain and the movement is aggravating your joints. Okay, again, that can creep up. You could do a hack squat for 2 blocks and it feels great, and then on that 3rd block you're struggling to add reps, you're struggling to add weight, and it's starting to bug your knees. Again, that's the sign that the movement needs to go. Okay, the 3rd one, the movement just feels stale in general. Now, do not confuse this with just, let's say you've done a hack squat and you've done it for one block, and because it's tough and you don't look forward to it, and it does, let's be honest, a hack squat for sets of 10 to 12 close to failure, it sucks, it's not fun. So don't mistake actually working hard with the feel of it being stale. If you're still progressing well and you're getting a good pump in the target muscle and your pounds you should drive them up, you keep that movement in, you don't change it. I don't care how you feel about it, if you feel like it sucks or whatever, if your pounds are going up and you're getting the results that you need, you don't switch that muscle out, that movement out at all, even if you think it feels stale, okay? A movement feels stale, or if you think a movement feels stale, that alone is not an excuse to take a movement out. You need to combine the feeling stale with one of these. If it's feeling stale, aggravating your joints, probably need to kick it out. If it's feeling stale, you're struggling to progress, you probably need to kick it out. But if you've got all three, fucking get rid of that movement. That's, again, it needs to go. But when I talk about feeling stale, again, if you've done a movement for a long time, it's just, as I say, it's going to go hand in hand with everything else. The progress is stalled. That's what makes you feel stale. So again, they're the telltale signs that you need to get rid of a movement. Now, the final point, that's why it's always good to have a good rotation of exercise. Now, I always talk about that. Now, let's say we're still talking about quads. Now, say we're talking about that hack squat. So you've seen my leg training videos on how I go about you're going to pick, let's say, 2 quad exercises on one day, 2 on the other. Now let's just say, for example's sake, we're talking about the hack squat that we're talking about now. Say we had a hack squat, a leg extension, a back squat, and a lunge or a Bulgarian split squat of some type. We still haven't used a leg press in that example, or we still haven't used maybe a Smith machine squat, a front squat, whatever, any sort of different variation of safety bar squat. So if that hack squat is getting stale, we've got some good exercises that we like and we can utilise in our back pocket that we haven't used this block. So a simple switch, we switch out our hack squat for a leg press, simple, and then you progress for weeks and weeks and weeks or end on the leg press, and maybe until that gets stale, and then maybe you can switch back in a Smith machine squat, or maybe bring the hack squat back in. But then again, you've got all your numbers of what you hit on the hack squat last time, and now we start that momentum again and that building process up again. You have all your logbook numbers from your hack squat last time, so you slowly acclimate to the hack squat again and start to beat that over time until again you start to run into these issues. It's all about, again, I sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's all about having a good rotation of exercises that gives us room to breathe, it gives us more wiggle room, and what you need to do as a lifter, you need to find the exercises that really work for you, because all of them exercises will work differently for different people. You might really not get nothing out of a hack squat, I doubt it, but you might feel better with a leg press, you might feel better with a Smith machine Bulgarian split squat rather than a normal Bulgarian split squat. You may find a safety bar squat is better than a normal back squat, whatever. That's just an example. You need to find a rotation of exercises that work for you and keep some in your back pocket when you need the most. This comes by trial and error. I can't tell you exactly what exercises you need to use for your situation, your genetics, your biomechanics, your experience levels, your age, your injury history. There's so many factors that go into it, but that's why it's all get in the gym, get in the trenches, experiment with all this stuff, and that's how you learn, okay? I don't just want to tell you what to do, I want to give you the information so you can go off on your own and utilise this information and actually put it into your own, put it into effect with your own training. That's how you're actually going to develop as a lifter as well. So, quick video today. Just let me know what you think. As I said, I'm always looking for more ideas for these videos, so if you get to the end of this video now and you want me to talk about something, any questions, drop it down below and I'm going to get to it, okay? I'm just going to keep pumping these out because I enjoy doing them. I like talking to you all like this with the whiteboards, whatever, it's fun. I feel I can really get the message across. Alright, so just let me know down below and I'll talk to you soon.